What's going on, everyone? Just wanted to do a 6 month update on my Valencia home theater seats. The one I have here is the Tuscany Luxury Console Edition. I did do a video covering all of my initial thoughts and first impressions already, so if you haven't seen that, I'll throw a link in the description. But this video would just be covering my new thoughts after I've had these seats for 6 months now. So as one of my initial concerns, I was worried that the matte leather might get dirty easily or wear quicker, but fortunately it still looks great without any issues. Just some wrinkles in the leather, which is normal and happens to any leather seat. My car is only about a year old and the leather seats in there definitely have way more wrinkles than this seat does. Here they're very minimal and you really have to be looking to even notice them in the first place. Coming down to the integrated lights, initially I liked these and thought they were a cool thing to have, but if you're someone who has a projector like I do, then you likely won't be using these that often. If you're just hanging out, then they're definitely cool eye candy, but if you're watching a movie, then they 100% have to be off. On the first week I got these, I thought my projector had an issue and nearly had a panic attack, but fortunately it turns out it was just the lights from the seats shining onto the screen. So like I said, cool lights to see when entering the room, not so cool to watch a movie with. It's not too bad when I put the footrest down, but once I put it up, it's basically just LEDs shining onto my screen. Speaking of lights, one of the things I mentioned before was that it was difficult to see things in the armrest due to how large and deep it was. I have these lights that I use in my house. They're battery powered and have a built-in motion sensor. So every time I open it, it'll automatically light up the area. These are just a little too big, so I need to find something a little more discreet. But once I do that, that'll solve that issue. Based on other reviews, this does seem like a common complaint, so it would be nice to see them implement something similar on newer models. Alright, so one thing I'll point out with having a console edition seat like this one is everyone will love the two side seats, but only sit in the center one when they really have to. This is because the two side ones have all the adjustments and power everything, and the one in the middle is just a regular seat. Don't get me wrong, it's still very comfortable, but it's just basic compared to the others. Personally, I don't have this issue as everyone knows my seat is the one on the left, but one of my kids or my wife basically called the right one, and whoever's last, well, you get stuck in the simple seat. So while the buttons at the side are not lit, I have gotten used to what it does just by feel, but the problem is my wife and kids haven't. So if you hold down this button, it's to set a memory setting, but if you hold down this button, it's to return everything on the seat to the home position. So what ends up happening is my kids tend to push and hold the wrong one first, and that results in my memory setting being erased. So it would be nice if they placed the memory button somewhere else or just added a texture on the home button so you can just run your finger along it and know which one it is by feel. As far as comfort goes, these seats definitely broke in and got a lot more comfortable. When I first got them, they were more on the firm side, but now I find them just right with not being too firm, but also not so soft and mushy either. So if you do buy these seats and they seem a little stiff at first, don't worry as they will break in and get better over time. So yeah, before I got these seats, like everybody else, I shopped around at all the different options out there, but while I like some other ones, my mind kept coming back to these. Some are cheaper, some are a little more expensive, but these just kind of checked every box that I wanted, which one of them included LEDs, which now I see I didn't really need, but overall, I really liked how they look. I liked all the features, and yeah, I'm glad I picked these. Definitely happy with these. I've done a lot of home theater upgrades from sound to the projector and so on, so on, and never fails. Every time someone comes and sees my setup for the first time, one of the first things they always question about and comment on is these seats. They're just very comfortable. They look great. They look like they cost a lot, which they definitely do. So I'm glad it checks that box. But yeah, they're very comfortable. They have all the features. People are just kind of blown away at the thought that they have moving headrests and then the lumbar support. Just a bunch of things that you don't normally see in a house recliner. People basically always say it's basically like having a luxury car seat in your house, which is basically the same idea I had when I first got them. So overall, like I said, definitely very happy with my purchase. And if you're looking at these, without a doubt, I would definitely recommend them. All right, well, that about wraps up my update for everything on these seats. Small issues and complaints aside, I'm still very happy with my purchase and have no buyer's remorse. Yes, things can be tweaked and updated, but as is, I still find these seats completely worth it. As usual, if you have any questions at all, feel free to drop me a comment and let me know. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.